Speaking about miracles, President, I could say that I never thought I could imagine that in the same letter, Venezuelan journalists who were in some cases were considered patriots and revolutionaries, and in others were journalists who were always at the opposition, political opposition of this country, or at least for the past few years. And these journalists gathered together and presented a letter, and it's also a headline that they were refusing for Venezuela to be turned into a war-torn country. I think that is the reaction, natural reaction of a whole country, all of the social body of the nation, the entrepreneurs, the businessmen and women, the producers, the poets, working class, farmers, fishermen and women, and now journalists. Were you surprised about this? I was surprised, of course, but I was surprised in a positive way to have seen how a group of journalists who were, let's say, opposed among them for the past 20 years, and to see now that they have several positions in relation towards the government and the Bolivarian Revolution, all of them united and unanimously had a single voice to reject any military aggression against Venezuela, in a single voice to call for the national union, in a single voice to call for the sacred respect of our country and our people. The internal businesses of the Venezuelans must only be resolved by Venezuelans. That is what we call, in a good theory, political theory, the achievement of a great consensus, but it is not just expressed in this statement, but also in multiple polls that have a great power. For example, I've seen 4 or 5 polls, national and international ones, and among 88 and 94% of Venezuelans reject the military threats of the United States against Venezuela. That means that we have constituted a powerful consensus of the whole nation for peace, for our right to life for Venezuelans. They repudiate all of these violent events we have witnessed, allegedly that are being announced against ships in the sea. I also have seen human rights organizations very anti-revolutionaries, and they also have been putting their flags out and raising their words, and they say, if we need to unite Venezuela, the whole Venezuela, and take each other's hands for Venezuela to be for there to be peace, tranquility, and to solve all of our matters in peace, it is always welcome. The consensus is always welcome if it is to move forward in the perspective of the right of the Venezuelan people for peace. Venezuela is not to be threatened. Our matters. Why does anyone has to come from abroad to interfere in our internal matters if we do not get into anybody's matters? Why do they have to believe they are the emperors of the world? No, they are not the empire of the world. We are free people of the 21st century, which is the century of the emancipation and the free peoples of the world, and we are exercising our sovereignty. So my greetings for the consensus we have achieved in relation with journalists, entrepreneurs, working people, and let's build together that huge and strong unity, national unity that Venezuela has today as one of its great achievements of these circumstances of threat.